Seton Hall, big upset over the #3 team in the nation, Villanova. What does this do for Villanova's chances at a one seed for Selection Sunday?
I mean, I would say it's gone. To be honest, they had that #1 seed secured, and they just threw it away, losing to a very average 16-16 Seton Hall team. Great game at MSG. Reminds me of the old days of the Big East tournament back when we Kemba Walker step back jumper by Seton Hall. Boom, baby, I loved it. But that #1 seed now is up for grabs. There's a Craigslist listing out for that #1 seed. Who wants it?
He throwing out Craigslist like Darian's been on Craigslist this week too. He's scanning. You know what? You placed that ad. I think Villanova still has a chance to be the #1 seed. I think there are a lot of variables. Villanova's had a really good season.
No, but they've had a very average season. They
lost 3 games.
They had no bad losses.
Lost 3 games
coming up to this game
season
against Seton Hall, okay, and they lost Seton Hall. There's a bad loss. They beat a Kansas team at the beginning of the year, by a few points. That was a great win. But with this loss, losing to Seton Hall,
you're saying that this one loss in a tournament. Okay, look.
No,
the bad thing is, yes, it's a tournament spot. It's a loss. It's a one-shot loss. It's not like they got blown out. First of all, and second of all,
by the end of the day, they still lost.
Yes, by the end of the day, they still lost. By the end of the day, selection committee is going to look and be like, okay, who really deserves this 4th #1 spot? Like you said, it's a grab bag. We don't know just yet.
We're gonna let the selection committee decide that.
There's some questions with Villanova. Obviously, they have 2 big losses in the year against Creighton. They did have a big win against Kansas. So
Creighton did smack them.
In all respect,
that's
Doug
the
McDermott
difference.
and Creighton
smacked those dudes.
But moving forward, just assuming there won't be any major upsets with Florida, Arizona, who are virtual locks for 1 seed, Wichita State. Who do you see jumping into that?
Like you said,
spot?
Jeff, moving forward, because it's going to be a big weekend in college basketball with whole conference tournaments and everything. Right now, I kind of have my #1 seeds locked up. I got Wichita State, best team all year, all around, in that mid-major. They didn't lose a game. They deserve that #1 seed. Okay, Florida, well-coached Billy Donovan. Pending no upsets in that SEC tournament, they'll be fine.
Completely.
Arizona has been very consistent all season long. They got one of the best backcourts, I feel. T.J. McConnell, Pac-12 Player of the Year, Nick Johnson. And then finally, I like Michigan taking that final #1 seed. Nick Stauskas. They're the Big Ten and regular season champions. They can beat Big Ten teams all day. I feel they deserve #1 seed.
Okay, now if they win the Big Ten, that's nice. You know what's interesting? Michigan won by 1 point. And you're saying a 1-point win by Michigan in a game that hasn't locked their conference up means more than the fact that Villanova has had a better season than them.
I was just saying they still won.
I think Villanova still takes the #1 seed, but again,
let's
okay, so some questions there, but we'll find out this Sunday.